Because I called CPS and verified.
I wanted to thank everyone for coming to the regular meeting, Town of Webb, 3/12/2024. I'd like to call the meeting to order and please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all for coming. Please sign at the end of the attendance sheet and please turn off any cell phones. The next regular meeting will be on April 9th at 7 p.m. April audited claims meeting will be held on the first Monday, April 1st at 5:30. We will be going into executive session this evening. We have some correspondence that we've received from Kinderwood, Community Transportation Service, and HASCA. And Nancy will read that to you now. Thank you.
Dear Town of Webb, we hope this card finds you in good health and high spirits. We are wanting to express our heartfelt gratitude for your generous contribution. Your support means the world to us and has such a positive impact on our school, students, and community. We are committed to providing a nurturing and stimulating environment where children can develop academically, emotionally, and socially here in the heart of the Adirondacks. Your donation plays a vital role in helping us achieve this mission. A few ways your donation makes a difference: scholarships, financial assistance, enrichment programs, teachers development, faculty and equipment, community outreach. Once again, thank you for your support. We are genuinely grateful. With warm regards, Kinderwood Board. Next one. Dear Bonnie and the Town of Webb Council members, HASCA would like to thank you for your generous donation to our agency. This will go a long way in helping us offset some of the costs of running a home care agency that is facing increasing insurance rates and decreasing reimbursement rates. We are proud to say that we have worked very hard to continue to provide quality home care in our local communities. Our staff is dedicated to fulfilling our mission of providing compassionate, quality care in the home. This enhances independence, dignity, and the quality of life. As always, our clients remain top priority, and we will continue to put the needs of this community first. Your donation shows us you recognize the importance of HASCA. Gratefully, Patricia Clark, Office Manager. And dear Town of Webb, thank you so much for your continued support of our services in the Town of Webb. We are always looking for volunteer drivers and new members of our board. We are here to help all that need a ride to medical appointments. We also go to Syracuse, not just Utica. Thank you for your support. It is greatly appreciated. Sincerely, Amy Van Wee, CTS President. That's it.
Thank you. We have a floating dock bid opening. Do we have any bids?
No.
So we don't have any bids for the 16 by 16 floating dock with floats, ladder, and side bumpers. The minimum bid was $8,000. So we have some choices to make. We can re-advertise and lower the cost to $7,000 or go on municipal auction. What's the pleasure of the board?
I definitely think we should go up to rebid.
At a lower cost?
Lower price.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. It's 7. So now, if we don't get another bid on this, there is another option, and that would be to donate it to one of our camps. So you guys can keep that in mind as well. So instead of getting, somebody up on the lake getting it for $2,000, maybe we could give it to a camp. That could use it, either Woodcraft or the YMCA camp or any other camps that you might think might be able to use it. So there's another option for the future.
Yeah, good idea.
Okay, so do I need to do a motion to rebid? Do we have a motion to rebid?
For the minimum.
For rebid the dock at $7,000. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
I'll second it.
Ben? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. The court audit, I need a motion that the town board acknowledges the required examination of the court audits that were conducted for Judge Patrick Vinetz and Judge Amber LaFountain on 2/9/2024, and they were found to be satisfactory. A copy of the reports and a resolution to be forwarded to the New York State Unified Court System. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second?
Second it.
Any board discussion?
Well, they do that every year, don't they?
Correct. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Vehicle bid. The town of Webb will be accepting bids for a new 2023-24 4x4 single cab automatic 6-speed 6x6 V8 engine 3.73 rear axle ratio type vehicle. All bids should allow for a 2016 Chevrolet 2500 trade-in with approximately 49,200 miles. All bids are due to the town clerk on or before April 9th, 2024 at 7 p.m. at the Town of Webb Clerk, 3140 State Route 28, Old Forge, New York, 13420. This bid is for a vehicle to replace the wastewater treatment plant vehicle. Bid specs are on file with the town clerk. The Town of Webb reserves the right to reject any and all proposals. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Have a quick comment.
We will after we motion. Second?
I'll second it.
Okay, comment.
Is that, what about the plow?
It's, I think, in the specs. Yeah, it's a 2016 Chevrolet 2500 HD with Fisher XV plow trade-in. It's in there.
Anything else? Okay. Well, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Insurance buyout. The town of Webb, make a motion that the town of Webb will no longer offer medical insurance buyout in lieu of receiving medical insurance to any new hire or to any employee who might have a change in their current coverage. This policy would take effect March 1st, 2024. CSEA and PBA should refer to their individual contracts. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
I'll second it.
Board discussion. I do have something to say.
Me too.
So I talked to Ian today, who is our insurance guy. 4 years ago, Ian told this board they were not in line with other towns and villages. We pay a higher amount than any other town or village, and we capped it in 2021, finally. Our percentage of insurance that we pay is 90-10. It's also one of the most generous municipalities he's ever seen. I'm not trying to hurt one employee here. I'm trying to be responsible with the taxpayer dollars. We pay $100,000 a month in insurance, over $1 million a year. The buyout's costing us $58,848. I feel when you come to work here, we have this beautiful package. I don't think it should include a buyout. I think you either take the employment package that we have, or you don't. I don't think we have to pay you to not take our insurance. To me, that's just totally out of line. That's my words. As budget officer, I feel our insurance is out of control, and this is a start to looking at options. I've been looking at different prices and different companies and different things, but I think this is a start. So it would only, they would be new hires and employee changes only. That's all it would affect right now.
Just starting from, if this motion goes, just starting from now till, for all new.
Correct. And any employee changes. So that means, say Mike's on our insurance and he decides he's gonna go on his wife's, right? You're gonna go on your wife's, and that would be an employee change, so they wouldn't be able to get that buyout because it was back in 2021 and now you've decided. So it'll be motion forward.
Yeah, any new hire cannot get, either take the insurance or they don't get the
Or they don't get a
buy,
cash
which
buyout.
in recent years or current is like, I hear like $17,000 depending on the percentage there. In some situations, it's quite a bit.
Correct. And when I do the total yearly buyout at $58,848.
But if you already is it fair to work alongside someone that has been here for like 2-3 years, that has got that, either that buyout in their contract that won't change, or
Well,
has that stipend?
And we're in negotiations on both those contracts right now, so I'm working on trying to do different options.
All right, so if they're in the CSEA, they can override our ruling here?
Yeah, this is not to CSCA
Goes by their
and
contract.
PDA.
Right, by their or PBA.
Right. This would just be the start to try to cut back on some of this a little bit.
Some other communities, so we have approximately 50 employees. Some other communities that, in the 38, 37, 65 employee range. Because I called up Ian too, just to get some information from what other municipalities are doing, and they're either capped that percentage, or they got rid of the cap altogether, so they could do a flat rate because insurance rates keep skyrocketing. So they're still offering those employees something, which is what I think we should look into before going to all or nothing. He said he mentioned that he doesn't know of any communities right now that are going from this high to just nothing, and not meeting somewhere in the middle. So I mean, I would rather have a discussion on this or talk about this, because this is the first I've caught wind of this. I know we've had insurance, it's high and all that, but for instance, they had just for an example, for a town with 38 employees, they did the 40% cap there. It was $2,000 for single person, $3,000 two person, $3,500 for the family. So it was something versus nothing, and then is
that insurance or the buyout?
That's the buyout. So that's what they're giving. So if you take the buyout, because what if there's so many scenarios you could go on to where you wouldn't be taking the insurance, so you just get nothing. I don't know. I just think there's in a time of trying to find
get
help.
The insurance. They either get the insurance
Or they get nothing.
from us.
Yeah, I get that.
They either get 90% of their insurance paid for them and their family and their spouse.
Right.
That is one heck of a program.
But if somebody's already current with insurance, or let's say their spouse is a teacher or something, they don't need the insurance. They don't get anything that's comparable to somebody that is taking it. That's all. I just think it's something in a world of trying to find people to work and making your jobs approachable to apply for. Do you really want to take another thing away? But again, I'm just one opinion.
Well, the one thing that they won't be getting that 10% out of their paycheck.
Yeah.
They take the other significant others insurance.
I'm not sure what you're saying.
If they decide not to get our insurance, they'll get 10% in their paycheck because they're not paying 10.
Yeah.
We pay 90, they pay 10. So they're still getting money.
10% of nothing is
For compensation.
No, I get that. Yeah. But again,
No, thank you. That's what we're
No,
here
we
for,
gotta
to
think
talk about and get everybody's opinion
I
on
would just
this.
tread lightly with it.
Because I'm not
that's all.
saying my opinion's right, I'm just saying that's my opinion. Ben?
Yeah, I mean, they're still getting something payout because they're going to get that 10% back in. So, I mean, why would we pay them more if their spouse has better insurance coverage?
What I'm getting at is it's part
That's
of
what's
it's part of the
supposed
benefit to taking the position, right? You're like, oh, I'm going to take this job as office manager up in McCauley, and in that is the benefit, and that's fantastic. But then my
But
spouse
if
just got a
if
job.
they don't decide to take it, what is it? They're still getting paid, and they're getting the full amount.
Yeah, but the health insurance is part of the payment. You know what I mean? That's what they're getting. That's part of their pay.
Right.
That's all. I mean,
No, listen, I'm hearing you.
they're just and like I said, Ian up there, he did mention that anybody that's now adjusting this, because we're right, this is long overdue to do something about what we're doing here. So you're right on that part. But I think to go from take it or leave it, I don't know. I think that's a little risky. because they're still doing that here. It also might end up costing the town more money too, because people might end up just taking the health insurance. If they weren't gonna take it, they
I
might-
welcome them to. See what happens, I don't know.
I'm just saying, if they take, if we're, oh, okay, I guess I'll just go and take the town's health insurance, that'll end up costing us a lot more money. in the long
Right.
run.
Like that, I know what you mean.
It's
All right.
It's a good policy. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't take it.
I guess we need to do a roll call vote on this one next.
Councilman Hannah,
Aye.
Councilman Greco,
Nate.
Councilman Ross,
Oh, Lord. It's got me thinking here.
Do that.
I'm gonna nay it.
Supervisor Baker.
Aye.
It's 2-2, so we didn't go anywhere with that. I'd bring it up next month when Kyle's here.
Discuss it, Kyle, then.
Yeah, and a note from Kyle, he apologizes to everyone for not being here tonight and last week. He has a family emergency going on right now, and he needs to tend to family. Thank you. All right,
Bring it up next month.
we'll bring that back up next month then.
Okay.
Herkimer County, the town of Webb has been given $250,000 from Herkimer County. Thank you very much, Herkimer. To find a ski conveyor for Macaulay Mountain. Thank you very much. We can't tell you how much we appreciate this money coming to us. We have an RFP for a ski conveyor at Macaulay Mountain. The town of Webb will be accepting RFPs for a ski conveyor at Macaulay Mountain. Bid specs are on file with the town clerk. All RFPs should be in the town clerk on or before April 9th at 7 p.m. Delivery is expected by August 31st, 2024. Do I have a motion?
I will make a motion.
Mike, second.
I'll second it.
Ben, discussion.
It's just a great thing that's happening.
Yeah. Nice job.
Moving forward.
Moving forward, perfect.
Thanks to Kurt and Brian and Brian's wife and people involved. And us guys going up and looking at Gore,
Yep.
checking this thing out. I mean, it's a-
Macaulay
it's a
Mountain
big
staff, they're excited about it, so, excited about the whole thing.
This is for the magic carpet ride.
Yes. They do call it a magic carpet ride, just so everybody knows what that means. Want to do a roll call vote, please?
Sure. Councilman Hannah,
Aye.
Councilman Greco,
Aye.
Councilman Ross,
Aye.
Supervisor Baker,
Aye, you like how I switch it up on you?
4 ayes.
Budget adjustment for short-term rentals. I'd like a motion, the 2024 budget be amended by increasing $8,010.45.
It's line 810.
Oh, sorry, by increasing line number,
There you
I
go.
thought it was a small amount. 8010.45 short-term rental line, and decreasing line number 2590 permanent revenue permit line. Sorry, guys. $22,735.36. This action is to pay for the GovOS for the short-term rental software. So when I did the budget, I didn't put that in the budget. I missed that. So we need to do a budget adjustment for that. That's what that's for. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Ben, and second?
I'll second.
Tom? Any discussion on that? Roll call vote, please.
Councilman Hannah,
Aye.
Councilman Greco,
Aye.
Councilman Ross,
Aye.
Supervisor Baker,
Aye.
4 ayes.
Macaulay Mountain Ski Attendant, a motion to appoint Kevin Cross, ski area attendant at Macaulay Mountain, effective 1/1/24, with a 6-month probation. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
A second?
A second.
Word discussion?
Well, he's a talented young man. Hopefully he works out good up there.
All right,
He's
roll
been
call
working
vote,
hard.
please.
Councilman Hannah,
Aye.
Councilman Greco,
Aye.
Councilman Ross,
Aye.
Supervisor Baker,
Aye.
4 ayes.
Part-time publicity clerk. Part-time
That's a tough one.
publicity clerk. I'd like a motion to appoint Marilyn Monroe, part-time publicity clerk, effective 2/29/2024, with a 6-month probation and civil service test. And to those of you who do not know who Marilyn Monroe is, it would be Lisa Monroe. Her first name is Marilyn. Do we have any board discussion?
FYI.
Oh, do I have a motion? Sorry. Thanks, Mike.
I'll make the motion.
Second,
I'll second it.
board discussion. Perfect. I thank her for stepping up to that.
Yeah.
I've talked to her a few times and she's in the perfect spot in my eyes, holy moly. You went over there complaining about the snow and she told me everything you could do today besides snowmobile. I was like, that's amazing. Roll call vote, please.
Councilman Hannah.
Aye.
Councilman Greco.
Aye.
Councilman Ross.
Aye.
Supervisor Baker.
Aye.
4 ayes.
Building maintenance mechanic, a motion to appoint Bill Green as building maintenance mechanic worker to replace Sean Smith. Excuse me, elective 3/4/2024 with a 6-month probation and civil service test. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
I'll second.
We got 2 seconds.
Second.
Who won?
Board discussion. All right, roll call vote,
Councilman
please.
Hannah.
Aye.
Councilman Greco.
Aye.
Councilman Ross.
Aye.
Supervisor Baker.
Aye.
4 ayes.
Building maintenance worker, motion to appoint John Brosmer as building maintenance worker, effective 3/4/2024 with a 6-month probation. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second?
I'll second it.
Any board discussion?
Do.
Roll call vote, please, Nancy.
Councilman Hannah.
Aye.
Councilman Greco.
Aye.
Councilman Ross.
Aye.
Supervisor Baker.
Aye. Advertise for a part-time cleaner. Motion to advertise for a part-time cleaner, 5 days a week, 5.5 hours a day. This includes weekends. Do I have a motion?
Go ahead, Tom. Tommy.
I'll make the motion.
Okay.
Second?
Me. Mike.
Discussion. I do have some discussion just so everybody understands what's going on because we have appointed a couple cleaners in the last little bit. Our first cleaner went on family leave and she has decided not to come back. Our second cleaner came for a week and decided this wasn't for her. So now we're putting an ad out for another cleaner. Any more board discussion on that? Roll call vote, please.
I'll change it up. Supervisor Baker.
Aye.
Councilman Ross.
Aye.
Councilman Greco.
Aye.
Councilman Hannah.
Aye.
I can't do it backwards.
That's how you struggle.
No, I can't do it backwards.
Matt Kilgore, is he here this evening? No. Okay. The board has been contacted by Matt Kilgore about creating a driveway across Trail 5. The clerk has shared all the information. What would the board like to do?
Well, I didn't think I had a thought on that. Can we ask him, and I think Andy was in here, can we ask for some details? Can he have he wants to go up from 28 up and then go along our trail and then cross. That's correct. So, can we ask for some sort of an engineered stormwater drainage
Absolutely can.
kind of thing? We can,
That was in the email that I sent.
Absolutely
We can
can.
ask for anything
okay, because
for our attorney.
I think there's some things that we really have to pay attention to how this is gonna go down versus, right now, he just made a mess up there, he made a river.
It's very concerning because right now all he has is, I'm not even going to call it a road, it's a path. And he has a path up there and we're having major drainage problems that go all the way down to the lake. So my concern is when he starts moving the mountain again, which he's going to do, what is the drainage issues going to be? So I think an engineering plan from him would be a grand
start.
idea.
For a start, because I also know that it's been said that all he's gonna do is put a tent up there, but I think we all know that within a year or two or whatever, that whole plan will probably change, and then we're gonna be right back here talking about this.
Mhm.
But isn't it non-buildable?
Well, it was told that you had to have 43 acres up there, but wherever that went, I don't know, because there's no way that he owns 43 acres,
Correct.
so.
So we got
Yeah, go ahead, Andy. Yep.
There is a 43-acre requirement, but anybody has the right to seek an area variance requesting to have less acreage. and a single-family dwelling would also require an Adirondack Park Agency permit. A tent does not. And our regulations do not require a permit for a tent. But yes, for a dwelling, so there's a lot of oversight if he decides to do a dwelling. He'd have to get an area variance, and then he'd have to get planning board approval. And of course, he's gotta have this board's permission to cross Trail 5.
We should probably look into that, because tents are
And
getting
the ADA,
built more and more like homes these days.
Can't have a wooden, can't be like a yurt or something like that.
Okay. So you want to ask him for an engineering plan then? Is that
Yeah,
what you guys,
that's a start, I mean.
I think that, yeah,
Ben?
yeah.
Okay. Engineering plan for Mr.
Present a
Kilgore?
plan.
Need a motion for that?
No.
To be more specific, with a stormwater management plan all the way down to Route 28.
Engineered by.
Competent,
knows what they're
licensed New
doing.
York State civil engineer.
Get all that, Nancy?
Civil engineer. Thank you, Andy, very much.
I did, Michael.
Macaulay Mountain Deck. Notice is hereby given that sealed proposals are sought and requested by the town of Webb for the deck replacement. Macaulay Mountain Chalet, Macaulay Mountain. The project will be removing the existing deck and building a new deck with stairs and ramps. Sealed bids will be received by the town of Webb until 5:30 p.m. on April 1st, 2024 at the Town of Webb office, 3140 State Route 28, Old Forge, New York, at which time they will open the bids and read them aloud. The town reserves the right to reject any bid. Bidding documents may be examined and obtained by Zangarelli Engineering, 322 Oriskany Boulevard and in Whitesboro. Bids may be mailed to the town clerk at P.O. Box 157, Old Forge, New York, 13420. Do I have a motion to advertise for sealed proposals and request by the town of Webb for deck replacement at Macaulay Mountain Chalet? Macaulay Mountain bids are due to the town clerk on or before April 1st, 2024 at 5:30 p.m. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Ben, second.
I'll second it.
Mike? Board discussion.
Oh.
Seems like we've been waiting a long time to
I know.
get these plans, so.
Nice to have that done real
This is
soon.
a much more thorough plan, but we were all looking
Yes,
forward
it
to the
is.
beginning, so.
Yep.
And is it in there to be completed by June and all that
Yes.
stuff, right? We had
I don't
all
have
in
the
there
specs
too.
right here, but yeah, we have a June, I believe it's a
Including removal and
June.
all that
That was
stuff.
15%.
June 15th is a Saturday, so I think we decided on the 17th, but yeah, there's a date in there for completion.
We're gonna get a deck.
In June, or by June.
Is that both sides?
Roll call vote?
Side and front?
Yes.
Roll call vote, please. Sorry, I didn't.
That's okay. Councilman Yanis?
Aye.
Good.
Councilman Greco?
Aye.
Councilman Ross?
Aye.
Supervisor Baker?
Aye. Okay, I'm gonna switch it up again. Nancy, you're gonna go first tonight, how's that?
Switch it up again.
Yeah.
There's your son.
Hold on, switching it up. Okay. I have received a letter, an email from Adirondack Snowmobile Advocates about their letter of support. They sent in letters of support for $264 signatures. It's more along the lines of a petition. It was a written up statement that people have signed. So we have 264 signatures. I have an email I will forward. I have been asked by The
You wanna
View.
read the statement on it, or just?
Oh, I can read the statement. Would you like me to? The statement says, Dear Town of Webb Supervisor and Board members, I support the efforts of ADK Snowmobile Advocates and their recent proposal that was made on February 13th, 2024, for the purpose of forming a working relationship between both the Town of Webb and a proposed nonprofit snowmobile association. Furthermore, I believe the proposal would be in the best interest of the entire community and would encourage the Town of Webb to immediately move forward on this. And they were emailed to John Khalil, and then he forwarded everything to me. So we'll probably get more as it progresses.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then I have the View, I just need a nod. They would like to use Point Park Saturday, August 10th for their 15th annual ice cream social. Everyone want a nod?
Absolutely.
Okay. Highway has closed the roads. This happens every year. Certain highways have been temporarily closed to vehicles with gross weight over excess of 5 tons, effective March 8th. This I need a resolution for. Otter Lake Fire Department would like to sell raffle tickets in the town of Webb, so I need a motion for that.
The motion to sell raffle
I'll make
tickets.
a motion.
Second,
I'll second it.
done. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Perfect. And the garbage new law that's going into effect, we're changing the date. We said our April 1st originally, it's gonna be May 1st. We're working on it right now. So you'll be getting that in the mail, and there'll be more about that in April. And that's an FYI more than anything. And that's all I have.
Okay. The Herkimer County IDA signed a contract this week for the income study that will be done by G&G Company for our sewer and water district. They have so graciously paid for that. So that was in tune of over $20,000. So we really appreciate that. These letters will be going out to the sewer and water district folks. It's going to ask for your income. I really highly suggest you answer, please. They're going to come knock on your door if you don't answer the letter. I'd rather answer the letter than talk to somebody I don't know at the door asking me what my income is. And the reason that we need this is so that we can get grant money. Our sewer district doesn't have any money. We only have 941 users and millions of dollars in problems. When I say millions, over 10. So those 941 users can't absorb all that cost. So if we get this income study done, we are going to be maybe higher in points for grants. And so hopefully we'll get more grant money that way. So please, when you get this income, please fill it out. If you have any questions, please call us. If you feel like you're being intimidated or something, please call us, because I do know that those can be, a little intimidating to answer. And are you answering to the right person? You know what I mean? We have 2 new employees that started in our DPW. They've looked throughout the buildings and they have a priority list made. They did start on the publicity bathrooms this week over there. So we'll have some new bathrooms pretty soon over there. Snowfest had another successful year. I thank everybody who went into the event planning, the volunteering. It's amazing what goes on there. And then just a little bit so everybody knows what goes on. I saw Casey the day that it was raining before Snowfest, and he was all shook up. I go, what's going on? My snow piles in the woods are melting. I'm watching them melt. I've been hiding them for Snowfest so that we can have jumpers. So Casey's losing sleep over snow piles melting that he has to move in for the jumpers. He got enough snow over there for the jumping, and that was amazing. But the fact that we're hiding snow to put on Snowfest tells me that we really care about our community and what goes on here. Snowmobiling, skiing, and all of that. So thank you. I know you were there for a good 48 hours over there. All right. Here's the big one. You ready? Eclipse. There's the eclipse lady right there. Warned me last year about the eclipse. So, had a meeting with state officials this week about the eclipse. The town of Webb has done the following to prepare. We ordered 20 porta potties. Normally we order 5 for 4th of July. We ordered 20. They're going to be delivered on Thursday and picked up on the Wednesday after. They will be dispersed from McKeever north. Chuck Betts will help to barricade the airport. It's a privately owned business, and they don't want anybody over there on their property. So the town will help barricade that off. All town land gates will be closed for the eclipse. We're going to blockade the Toby Trail where vehicles may see fit to go on it. I didn't realize it, but 4th of July when there's a traffic jam, we have people on the Toby Trail trying to cut through traffic. So we will be putting barricades up there. They suggest that you get your gas on Thursday or Wednesday. They predict our gas stations will be out of gas by Monday. So if you need gas, please gas up ahead of time. I did the same thing.
Who's they?
Who's they?
This is state officials. This is state police. This is the governor, National Guard, DEC, every acronym in the state you can think of.
Homeland
We were in a
Security.
huge meeting. EMS,
Homeland
firemen, I know
Security,
you're all
too.
laughing. I hope that that's what we're all doing in it. Because I got more. You ready?
Remember, they're looking at worst case here.
Right.
Might not even happen, but they're looking at worst case.
They're bringing their own gas in for emergency vehicles and they're storing it at different locations. There'll be a map provided for the community to let everybody know where EMS will be located, police and fire will be stationed. There will be a police communication at the school garage. So there'll be people stationed there. There'll be 7 DEC officers in our area. There'll be one at Bald Mountain and one at Rocky Mountain to help parking and any other issues that may arise there. All town offices will be open this day. Our bathrooms will be open to the public. We are anticipating to have the beach house open, and we'll have signs through town telling people where the bathrooms are located. They strongly suggest, and this is a board decision, they strongly suggest that we close Macaulay Mountain and have someone at the gate by the transfer station all day reminding people that we are closed. They want us to know that this
What
is a
about Great
board
Lake Road?
decision, but they are not in favor of having 300 people hiking Macaulay that day. So that's a board decision. Can you tell me how you all feel about that, please?
I mean, I can see it for hiking, but I don't think we're gonna. Doesn't look like the snow's gonna last. I think we should charge for rides.
We can't, we won't have the, so the problem is, we close the skiing the day before, and we have to have time to separate the chairs, and then the state has to come inspect for non-skiing, or whatever you wanna call it, pedestrian traffic.
Can't
It
download that many
changes.
people.
So a chair comes off in between, and you can't just go every other chair. I asked that. It's
Because of
a,
weight.
it's a state
Yeah,
thing.
wait, state deal.
Yep. So we wouldn't have the chair done, ready in time unless we close them out in a week early. And then there's a possibility.
I don't know why you would ride the chair. This thing only lasts 3 minutes or something.
It lasts 3 minutes, and from
3 minutes,
what
but-
Mr. Gardner says, who's our photographer here in town, because I suggested, I'm going up to the transfer station, the old one. I go up there, nobody will not even know I'm there. And he said, you're not gonna see it there. I go, what do you mean? And he said, no, you might see it on Sidewinder. You're
Well,
not
that's
gonna
right,
see it
too.
at the
You
top
did
of
say that.
Macaulay.
Yeah.
It's gonna be under the trees, and he said you won't see it there. So I was kinda listening to what he said, because I don't know. I mean, I'm not,
Yeah, I think he did say you wouldn't get a good vision.
you wouldn't get a good vision, but you're better off. He said maybe Sidewinder, but you're better off on a flat surface down here in town. Okay. Now what?
Close the gate.
Somebody gonna
I kind of thought.
close off Gray Lake Road too, because
We
that's,
can't close it on, we can't do it.
well,
all.
do
I
something.
know.
I mean, that's
There's
an
a
easy
gate-
walk
there's a
from
gate-
Cully.
There's a gate across there, and it's all cabled. So no one, unless they go around through the woods.
What's the difference between hiking Macaulay and hiking Bald Mountain or Rocky?
We don't own.
Well, that's, yeah, Macaulay is.
They're just,
owned by
they're
Snow.
worried,
Yeah.
they're worried about emergency situations. They're worried about not
Every
being
long-range
able to get
forecast
to
says it's
different
gonna be
emergency
cloudy and rain
situations.
anyway.
It's really safety is what all they're concerned about.
And it's not just like if somebody falls and needs an ambulance, the problem is what they're figuring is the traffic's gonna be really bad, and it's not, you're not just gonna drive down the road like we can.
They're
right now.
anticipating anywhere from an 8 to a 17-hour gridlock getting out of town after the eclipse. So don't try to go anywhere. And I don't know. I mean, we could do this magic 8 ball. How many? Are we gonna get overrun by the eclipse? Let's see what it says. It says it can't predict. So there you go. I mean, that's really what I feel like we're doing with the eclipse. I hear 800,000 people are coming. I hear it's going to be like 4th of July. Then I hear it's 4th of July on steroids. Then I hear it's 4th of July times 20. Then I'm hearing a 17-hour
Plan
gridlock.
for the worst.
So I don't know what to plan for. So we're just trying to take some cautionary measures. If anybody sees Dave Winslow, would you make sure he knows that there's going to be a traffic jam that day?
Yeah.
Because I don't want him coming in and yelling at me about it. Okay, so that's it.
So I don't know, what about McCully? We're gonna shut it down, or we're gonna keep it open, what are we doing?
Yeah, and Tommy didn't talk yet. Go ahead. You didn't talk on your page. I'm sorry.
It's a really tough one.
It is.
Thinking about it. I hate to see it get overrun and not have enough people up there to deal with it. There's gonna be parking issues and stuff, and then, not for nothing, but then you do get up there and then the hiking conditions are so poor. Now it's gonna lead to people slipping and falling, because supposedly where I've read it, and it's gonna be people that aren't really familiar with the outdoors that are gonna be coming to these towns and running the Adirondacks too. That's another big part of this, is that it's not gonna be just people that have
The Eclipse followers.
Yeah, so, I mean, who know, I don't know, it's a phenomenon, right? It's crazy. But I think with us, with school being out of session, with probably the whole town not being here, is there gonna be volunteers around? How many people are gonna be here? There's gonna be so many things that go into who we're gonna have to be able to cater to any issue.
That's kind of why we were trying to do all hands on deck with town offices, because, you know, everybody's like, well, that's not my job. And I'm like, well, I know, can it be that day?
The reason I didn't speak up is because I'm usually for opening everything, right?
I know. I know, it's a hard decision.
But
when I hear-
I would go with closing the gate. You know?
When I hear our officials and our EMS and our firefighters say that they would suggest that we close it down, I'm not the
If
one
it was-
running up the mountain to help anybody,
If it
so.
was a different time of year, if there was something going on, we could, utilize it as a business and open the chairlift and maybe do a shuttle and do some parking and all that stuff. But with that time of year, I think that's just, I think you're asking for issues to just go at it for a couple bucks on a Monday, you know? So for me, yeah, I would go along with just putting the gate up and go to the old dump with you.
Which I hear we won't see a thing up there.
Oh, yeah, and if he's right, then yeah, that's not a good viewing spot anyways.
Yeah, I mean, you might not be able to see the whole eclipse, but you're gonna see the effect of it, where you have a 360-degree sunset all the way around. You know, or you see like a quarter of an inch of the sun all the way around you. So maybe it's not a thing with Brian and Ski Patrol to see if there would be any ski patrollers around.
Yeah.
The birds are gonna chirp though.
You know, maybe they can help.
He doesn't do ski patrol.
Well, I know, he's still
He's
involved.
retired.
I would say,
You know, it's still-
ask Jordan and see what he says.
Yeah,
You know,
I can ask him too.
I mean, like you said, we're running out of snow.
Well, that's
Yeah.
three, right?
But
We close
there might be a
gates.
bunch of them around there that,
I would say ask him and see what he says.
yeah.
I hate to say this, but we got 3 closed gates. Sorry, Dan. I know it hurts when that happens. I've had
Does that include the bike trails?
No, the bike trails are set.
They still
The
be
gates-
open?
Yeah, gates passed.
That's a problem.
And if they're,
Well, but that parking
Okay,
lot's
you're-
not big enough to do anything with.
Yeah, but it's a lucky
You're up next, Bob.
I'm next.
Yeah.
If you know where it goes.
Well, it's tough to go after you on this one, Bonnie. I did want to make mention of Snowfest. It fortunately was a good success. I really want to thank Casey and his crew for delivering all that snow that they found every parking lot and it was awesome. That worked out. I too lost a lot of sleep because I didn't think we were going to have any snow there. I was worried about wind, I was worried about rain, everything, but it worked. Like to say thank you to Cliff Baker and Bud Nellenbeck. They hung out over there as our police officers, which it's nice to see them hanging around. And Chuck Betts, thankfully he was there with his equipment because he made this event happen for us. So him and Lee were over there helping. Chuck was there the full time with me, so that was great. I guess that's basically all I have to say tonight. I'm gonna address this I see everybody's here about this snowmobile thing, so if that question comes up, I got
Okay,
something to
perfect.
say about that.
I got to tag on to your income survey thing there. Thanks for laying all that out there for everybody.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's really important. Thanks to Pat Russell, John Pizik down there at Herkimer County IDA, Corey Reed, Herkimer County, just for providing that. That's going to open up so many doors for us. I got to say thanks to the CAA. I know it's been tough for a lot of area businesses and all that, but we all have to realize that the only economic engine we have in this town is tourism. That's it, you know. So like to have these events, you know, when I was a kid, who wanted to come here in November? You know, nobody. And then we got Christmas on May, and it's like our busiest weekend of the year. Town's flooded. People are here. Same thing with St. Patty's Day in March, Snowfest, Snowdeo. I mean, I can't say enough for what CAA does to put out these events. I think we got to find a way to stretch them out a little bit more. Maybe not just be in the center of Old Forge, but I think we can do that as it continues to grow. It seems like there's a good group of people there that are really passionate about what they're doing right now. The rec center, haven't talked about it in a couple meetings. They finally put some new tape down on the lines down there. We got these big 14-foot fans that we approved to put in last year. Those got installed. The whole place in general, we figured out like the buckling of the floor, the heat, the efficiency. Alex Ross is just unbelievable down there. He's got help from Eric Sokash. The stuff that he's attended to has been fantastic. I love seeing the facility be used. That's what we signed up for. The Wattis Foundation, I can't thank them enough. Sometimes I'll just send a random text message to Vicky Cataldo there who came up here to check out the facility and started that whole thing. But you know, we got the key fobs and cameras. We got a great rec manager down there who's staying on top of things, making sure I'm not even getting in there. And then the positions that we're filling are just fantastic, and the people are really helping us out. But yeah, it's all coming somewhere. And then on a separate level, I would like to say thanks from the high school, from 8 grades 7 through 12. Just being able to go in there was just so huge. You guys have no idea how small. Some people don't know how small our gymnasium is. I mean, it's like half the size of a normal gym at a normal high school. And then we have all these activities, and then this is canceled, that's canceled. Then we have play practice and band and chorus, and like usually we just have everything canceled. Okay, see ya. And sometimes it's tough in a normal winter. So having that place down there really helped out a lot with that. Then I did my homework. We asked for Bonnie asked for top 5 desires here for
Where's yours?
town for what we asked for. I guess maybe it goes to Herkimer County to kind of keep helping us out. Sounds
Yeah,
like
so it's like we're gonna take all of our ideas, put it into one big scope, and try to go after the big funding like Herkimer got.
yeah, the
The
downtown
the $30 million or the $10 million versus we're going for little things here and there. So we're gonna put it in, encompass it into one big program and try to go that way.
So I just had, I'll just read them off quick. Number 1 was to address and develop a plan to combat the housing crisis in order to provide housing opportunities in this area. To grow year-round residents by welcoming people to work and live in the town of Webb. Number 2 was use professional consultants and grant writers. In order to qualify for state funding, a plan must be in place to be considered. We talk about a lot of stuff around here, but we don't have any plans, and they won't even look at anything unless you have these plans. So I was hoping we'd get back to what you were doing your first couple of years in forming committees made up of town of Webb residents to work together towards Webb's best interest to prioritize and develop these plans. My third thing that I look for our community is to take care of our own. Our town of Webb employees in all departments are passionate, hardworking, versatile, and creative people. We need to make sure they are content, appreciated, and compensated fairly for all that they do. I think we're moving towards that. During budget time, we tried to. Number 4 is improve our reputation on working together. It's to be accomplished by building a relationship with our neighboring Adirondack towns in Herkimer County. To welcome tourists, second homeowners, and young families with an open mind. To get the leaders of our town organizations, school administrators, department heads, and business owners to work together to make for a better overall community. I mean, there's not very many of us here, so we really got to take care of each other and try to work together. I mean, hate to go to my personal thing, but you know, working with the restaurant owners, we all stay in touch. We talk. You know, if we run out of something, we work together. If somebody needs an employee, sometimes we'll share an employee. I mean, that's what allows us to still be open and available. And I think we can do that in other areas of this town. And then lastly, I just said find ways to engage our residents and encourage community participation. Some of you are here now. It's great to see. When I first came on board, I think was there 3 people in that Cold Park Ave building our first meeting there. So whether it's for good or bad, it's nice to see people coming to the meetings. You know, being a part of a community is more important than anyone's self-interest. So.
Thanks everyone for coming. Yeah, I mean, that was the biggest thing about the trip to New York City with you guys, which, by the way, was a lot of fun and a good time, was, you know, we need to hire a full-time grant writer and a consultant to be able to put all this together to go for a big number versus just spending money and not getting anything with the little grants. Is to put everything together and go for the big one.
And we did pick up every pamphlet we could find on grant writing and engineering and all that.
Yeah.
And who the Association of Towns recommends.
Yep, and I want to thank the Snowmakers from Collie for making snow a couple weeks and extending the period. Looks like we're going to be able to hold the race this weekend, so we're hopefully going to bring in 150 kids and their families this weekend at Old Forge, so that will be good. And we had a great meeting last Wednesday with Kurt, Brian, Mike, and myself with the engineers for the chairlift, and I think we're on the right track. You know, putting everything together, it seems right. So
Yeah, real positive meeting.
yeah.
So between Kandahar and the parade this weekend, we're going to be booming.
Yeah, which I think
That's
will be
good because
for
we need it.
town.
Forgot about the parade, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Parade.
Yeah, 'cause there's a lot of snow up there through this winter. I mean,
yeah,
or the worst winter that we can remember. I've heard nothing but good things about the snow up there.
yeah. Would have been nice to get a
Great
little
job.
bit more because I think right now this weekend probably will be the only ski mountain in central New York open, other than Golden Whiteface. Everyone pulled the plug. There was a big ski race last weekend, and all the mountains were pulling the plug. And I think Woods Valley's not opening this weekend. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Thank you.
All right, public topics. Who can I help first? State your name.
John Khalil,
Thank you,
ADT
John.
Snowmobile Advocates. Do I have the board's permission to provide a brief update on our efforts since I last presented?
No, you're supposed to meet with our committee, and you need to meet with the committee so that we can all come together and talk about it. And then we wanted to meet with you after that.
Okay.
Am I right?
So,
Isn't that how that was going to go?
That's
Okay.
part of what I was gonna comment on. So I did talk to John over at Snowfest.
Okay.
I did explain to you that Kyle's had some things going on in his life. I did explain to why we're gonna come up with, I kinda wanted to meet with a few people in this community that have been around this system and what goes on in the past. I've been involved with it for many, many years, and there's a few people in this room that also have been. I would like to have a discussion with them and Kyle, and because Kyle hasn't been involved in that very much, he needs to be up to speed on everything. Have a meeting with you and your group, because when you sign these petitions, well, what are you supporting, what are you doing? We don't even know that. We just know that you signed this, that you want to be supportive of snowmobiling. That's great. But what is it that is needed so that we can get together and have a good discussion on these? What you think is wrong, what you think is right? I don't know how to word this because
We're
what happens
hoping to
is,
go that avenue the next, and then we can get together again.
Yeah, that would make sense because the presentation was very high level, just provided a broad overview of things.
Yes.
What we intended to do, so I realized we weren't getting down to specifics. But if we could, after this meeting tonight, lock in a date on our calendars and try to make
That
this
sounds
happen
good.
sooner rather
And I
than
gotta
later.
tell you, when Nancy said we have how many letters? I went running in there going, oh, let me see. I thought they were like letters of ideas and things, and
Yeah,
it was,
you got a big stack of them.
yeah, it
and
was
more
more
to
of a
come.
petition style, so Yeah. But we know where you're coming from. We're not ignoring you at all. We understand. We just want to go this route first, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you reaching out the other day.
No, not a problem at all.
Let's make it happen.
We'll get there. It's just like I say, we've had a little bit of a slowdown, and obviously there's no big hurry right now with Merritt snowmobiling.
But we don't want it to go 6 months either.
No,
so
it won't.
we want to make sure that we're on top of it.
Exactly.
Anyone
If
else?
that
Oh, sorry.
answers,
Yeah.
gets you going, I guess.
Yeah, fair enough.
I would like to state up. My name is Pat Duffy. I own a business in Big Moose. I also manage a marina in Big Moose. And I'm going to read an email here, and then I will address the questions that I'd like to get the board to answer in response to this email. But the email is written, and I'm not the best public reader. I'm okay public speaking here, but bear with me here. The email was addressed February 28th, 2024, a little bit before noon. It says, "Good morning, John. Thank you for reaching out to me last week. I have attached a shared revenue information sheet created by Mike Farmer for the two towns since 2015.
Excuse me. This is a contract. This is in our lawyer's hands, and we're not discussing this evening.
I believe it is something that can be put on a public topic right now because I want to understand why we are
It's in our
terminating this contract.
lawyer's
Can I please
hands
finish
right now,
this
and
right
we're
here?
not discussing that this evening.
Why is it go to executive meeting and why is it not held in a public forum? That's what I want to
It's
know.
in our lawyer's hands right now. We have different letters going back from them and us. It's in our lawyers. It's in both lawyers' hands right now. And until they decide what to do, we're not doing anything in public, and we'll talk about it when the lawyers decide what has to be done.
So in terms of terminating that contract, everybody on the board was aware of the email that was sent that I was just reading. That's what I'm asking. It was not made public for us to terminate that contract with Inlet.
So
It affects
I
my
did
business,
do
so I would
something
like to
wrong.
bring it up.
What contract?
Excuse me. I did do something wrong that day, and I did not notify Councilman Greco. The other ones were notified. That was my mistake. I did not talk to Mr. Greco about it, so he did not know.
Was it ever going to be made public?
Yes,
So we
it
have
will
a
be made
chance?
public.
What's the contract?
It's the Town of Webb Inlet Snowmobile Agreement.
Which is what?
14, it goes to about our sales and what percentage Inlet gets versus what the Town of Webb gets, percentage-wise in sales.
From trail passes?
Yes.
To answer one of your questions, yeah, I was not aware of where that.
Correct,
email
and that
went
was
in
my
contract.
mistake.
And everybody else on
fessed
the
up
board
to
was
that.
aware of that email and is in agreement with terminating that contract. That's what I'm asking.
Yes,
The entire board is in agreement
with the
term-
exception of Tom, who I failed to speak to. And I said, that was my fault, my mistake, and I have fessed up to that. It was a big mistake.
And how to move forward is.
And how to move forward to
still
make
needs
sure
be
that never
voted on
happens.
in a public setting or something, so it needs to come back or whatever. It needs to happen.
So I guess then I'll further this.
Inlet's the one who stopped the agreement, by the way. Inlet told us we can't sell trail permits, 24-25 season. That's what started the whole thing.
So we're gonna go on record and say this was done by Inlet. This was all started and
No, it was started by the Town of Webb
by Inlet.
a long time ago when Mike Ross brought up he didn't believe the agreement was fair. And so now we're in negotiations. Again, it's in our lawyer's hands.
There's a real lot of history here, though. There's history
I
that goes
understand
back
that, but
about
here's my
20,
problem.
15
As this
years.
group tries to get traction with this town, there's a lot of groups that come to this town and they can get traction. Anybody comes to this board and tries to get traction in terms of snowmobiling, it's met with opposition. And I have a problem with that. You have a master plan, okay? And part of your master plan is to try to, it's where we're going, where we want to go with this. You guys held a separate master plan for the mountain, which I'm all in favor for. The mountain's in need of some, it's well overdue. It should have been part of the plan a long time ago. It's terrible that we have to do this now and find so much money for it. What is so wrong with asking for the same time and energy to be devoted to snowmobiling to fix what is broken? It is broken.
So you came into my office a year ago.
What's broken?
Wait a minute.
I'm
You came into my office a year ago.
I did.
And you asked me to talk to you guys about that. I asked for your suggestions, didn't I? What needed to be fixed? What trails needed to be fixed? What needed to be done here?
And we gave you a list when we were there. with you. We suggested some of them.
Name one thing that's broken.
I'm asking you, what do you think is wrong with it?
I don't. We have a great trail system. Is there issues here and there? Absolutely, there is with everything.
So we can't
but I
ask
wanna
the
hear
town
what's
to form a
broken.
committee to try to find some solutions to some of the problems that exist, as in like a master plan for fixing snowmobiling. It is. There's a bad attitude in this town. I own a restaurant and a bar. I hear it from your clients, your customers. You charge $100 pass, which is fine, and that's great, but there is a bad attitude towards the snowmobiling community here, and I would like to address that. And I think that we could do a better job, and I think we could devise a master plan with John or any community member that wants to try to look. You have things that you can address and you could do. And even better, nobody's actually came here and asked you for money. These are things you could probably solve without much financial burden to anything other than just putting in a little extra effort.
That's why we're going to meet with John on what you think is broken. Because I haven't
Well,
heard...
you say that, but why did it have to take 30 days to do that?
Duffy, I've been sitting on this board a long time, and
I
I've heard
understand
all
that.
the things that you guys all say that's broken. Big Moose Road, you can't ride it.
not
Rondax
talking
Road,
about
we
Big
worked
Moose
on
Road.
Rondax Road the best we can. There's a lot of little things that are complaints that really can't be fixed.
And there's a lot that.
This year we didn't have any snow. We can't fix that. So everybody was miserable.
Yeah, and
We are
Duff-
very
and Duff-
open for ideas.
If
We're
I
not-
may add, and that's what the sincere hope is, working with Mr. Ross and the board, is to try to sit
honor
down,
that.
identify where the concerns are, where the challenges are, where some of maybe the PR issues are, and how the association can act as a liaison and a conduit to address these issues between residents,
Absolutely.
between business owners, between snowmobilers, and working with government, so we could try to at least have a game plan going into next season. And I hope we can accomplish that. And-
I hope we
Do
Yeah.
the board members sincerely feel that we're doing everything we possibly can to advocate for the snowmobile community?
Absolutely not. There's not one division of our town that we're doing absolutely everything we can do for. We have 10 divisions of town. So no, we're not. We're probably failing in every one of them. Because no, we're not giving that attention to
I'm just
anybody.
asking for some, that we can form this group or do
Absolutely,
something.
we would like to move
and
forward.
create a
And the
master
next
plan,
one will be
'cause
a
there
meeting with
is-
the committee.
We can do better. I know
Absolutely, we
we
can
can.
do better.
100% that we can
And
do
so how
better.
do we change the attitude? Because I know there's not one person on this board that doesn't like snowmobiling and isn't an advocate of it.
By adopting some of the things that need to be changed and
I'm
conveying
talking about
those,
it, of the opinions of the community that you're
and
talking
conveying those changes.
Changes and conveying that,
improvements.
okay?
I haven't
your
heard a
trail
change
permit
yet.
holders.
I have not heard one change.
I think it would just be to.
What is the change?
I'll throw one out there.
I will
Get
too.
rid of salt and the sand on town roads.
Okay, perfect.
I'll throw
That's
one out.
Excellent.
How about running a grooming shift overnight? That's conducive with
100%.
the weather pattern we have.
100%. You say that it's a 24-hour grooming,
We've
and it's
done it,
not.
just to let you know we've done it.
It
It's
should
safer
always
at
be at night.
Temperatures
Always.
are in their favor.
I was going to say, with the temperatures the way they are lately, I
Traffic
think night grooming would be a
obviously
huge
lower.
advantage compared
And
to.
so all of this
30
needs to go
days.
through John to the committee, so we can
That's
all
what-
take
That's what I'm
That's what we're
asking.
wanting.
I would like to form that committee.
So do we have an understanding that these kinds of
We already have a
discussions?
committee. John's
Okay.
already formed a committee.
Okay, but I just
Duffy.
want to know that at some point, I think this goes back to what I raised before, was trying to get recognized, if you will, much like the relationship the CAA may have with the town, where we could be recognized as the entity, the nonprofit association working with the town to address these issues.
We've had a lot of committees in the past, and I think that's kind of what I said here in that little piece there. Forming more committees
this folder
of
right here?
people here will definitely
Yeah.
help out with that.
Yeah, I mean, what we accomplished this weekend at Snowfest was fantastic.
It was.
The working relationship that I've already established with Judy, the CAA, the outstanding work Devin did, other social media, trail page administrators, Mark Mayer, I think Mark's here. Mark, are you
Yeah.
here? Okay. Thank you. Dave Hanksler. I mean, we worked overtime as volunteers at no expense to the community or the CAA to try to keep this positive, to keep this upbeat, and to make sure that the attendance was there regardless of snow this year. This was not expected to be this kind of success. And again, it's all because of the efforts that are being laid out right now. So I realize there's a lot of passion, there's a lot of people that want to see snowmobiling work in the community. And if there's those that don't and those that have an issue with it, We've got to flesh those issues to the top, get to the bottom of it, find some common ground, and if we can do it as citizens, as a board, working with the town to interface and address these issues, that's what the goal is. And that's all, as I presented last time, we're trying to do. Mike, to your point, make a valid point. Have we given you specifics? Absolutely not, other than what's said here tonight. So I hope that we can be part of a master plan, if you will. For
Are you in
snowboarding.
contact with John with your?
I am. I just
Okay.
think that we can make change here, and I don't see why the energy can't be put into this like we do other things in this town. I am
will
not
be.
against anything else in this town. I'm just
will be.
asking right now for this to get the same time and consideration as everybody else that comes to you. And the best part about this is we're not asking you money. And I bet you a guy like John, he could find you some money and some grants that would actually ease some of the burdens of your fuel or new equipment or whatever it might be. What I'm asking you is to adopt this relationship so that we can formulate a board and get back to you with positive changes and work to, there's stuff that's not practical. We can put it on the list and maybe someday we can get there. But there's stuff that we can do today that we can implement for next season.
All right. We're not close to it. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
Robin Hill, Living ADK, just to let you know that we've got a public workshop on advanced directives coming up on April 16th. Hospice and Palliative Care is going to provide that education at Nichols Church, 4 to 5:30. So I think I did share sending this flyer over with you. We'll pick you up in town, and it's been out on social media. So I think it's a nice opportunity for those who don't know what advanced directives are, or maybe a little bit scared about it, and how they're so important for all of us at some point in time of our lives. So the National Grid engineer is coming up Thursday and going to be back at the mountain. Now that they've done that initial assessment, you're going to get more official information on how National Grid can help you.
You're talking about Tim Berry?
Well, whoever came
Yeah.
up.
I'll just check, make sure it's the same.
Yeah, well,
he's
you had
bringing
your
somebody else,
you had
too.
your marketing guy or whatever, but it's your engineer that's coming up Thursday, right? Then Mohawk Valley Economic Development and National Grid, they did that assessment for the pavilion for that $50,000 grant, so you're just waiting, right, for information back from them.
Thank you for that.
NYSERDA wants to do a geothermal audit on the town to see if it's even an option. And Dan asked if there was anybody on the board that would be willing to kind of be in the education side of that with him, to learn about it as we go along to see if it's even a possibility for the town. So I don't know if you want to nominate somebody who Dan
Anybody
can
got time to do
include.
that?
I'm a big Dan Kieferbach fan, so
Wanna-
I'll volunteer to do that. Nobody else is, for sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, I will let him know. As we move closer to a contract with Mohawk Valley Health System, the Old Forge Ambulance Corps, and Iroquois Health Association on the Mobile Integrated Health Pilot Program, one great thing that I've heard is that we will finally get a visiting nurse service that's going to be part of that pilot program. So there's, no more, sorry, we don't have any nurses to come up and do that service. They're going to have to be a part of that pilot program. So we're very pleased to
That's
know that
amazing.
that's going to be an added benefit to this. So again, once we get a little further along, there will be a press release about that. And an education opportunity to the community to understand what mobile integrated health is going to mean to the expanded community, not just Webb, but beyond. So we're very excited to know that we've got some funding coming our way to support that. Thank you.
No, that one
Thank
guy,
you.
that one guy that came and talked to us at
That was different than Tim Berry.
yeah, they were really into electric stuff. That was one of the things, and that.
He was an energy consultant, but yeah, I mean, he was talking about how you could supplement some of our propane with electric heaters and whatnot to supplement it. But yeah, there was a concern of getting that much power down there because of the power that we
That building
access up.
really didn't fit in. The way I got it, didn't fit into his plan, but we'll see
But
where it goes.
there's other things that they were they could help us with. This is part of the 50,000 that we
Yeah.
had down there. Installation, whatever, loan and stuff like that they could help us with.
Thank you. Yes.
I'm Linda Wheel. I know the town is working on a master plan coming up. I believe planning board as lead agency on that, the future master plan or updated master plan. It does seem like the folks here maybe pointed out some things that could make that committee stronger. In fact, maybe having representatives that do represent some of the special interests that will likely be part of the master plan, whether it be tourism, whether it be snowmobiling, whether it be Macaulay Mountain and our town's unique property there. You know, if there could be somebody who represents those interests and the vision for the future and those things, it seems like we have a good opportunity to maybe throw those things that way. Also, and healthcare. That is a big one. That's a lesson I learned from the last master plan. Also, I would love to volunteer myself for any snowmobile committee. I am a non-snowmobiler, straight up resident, art gallery owner and library director, and I seem unlikely, but I think that if you are looking for the other viewpoint,
Absolutely.
I might be helpful to your efforts, and so I want to put that out there, all right? I also just want to share some good news. The library had over 16,000 visitors last year, more than 4,500 at our programs. We had 65 there last Thursday to celebrate local art, and I saw some of you there, and thanks. We had a program tonight with a guy who's painting the Timberwolves mural, helping our community transition to our new logo. Tomorrow, Patty Foley, who a lot of you know, is going to be talking about some Irish stuff. And then, I don't know, there's a million things. We're going to make no snow carrots next week and get ready for the Easter egg hunt, folks, because we put 3,000 eggs out there. It takes about 2 hours just to scatter them in the lawn, and in 10 minutes, 80 kids pick them up. There's great stuff happening here, whether it be Snowfest, whether it be, you know, the people in town who are just making an effort to do things. Robin here. Hospice, this woman from Hospice is fabulous and cares about our people. She was at Lakeside Thursday. We played bingo at Lakeside. Living 80K, public health from the county, the library, and we're gonna have a hot lunch because that's a big part of the deal, right? Sharp. And we're gonna play some bingo for some bad prizes. And you know, it takes all of us to do all of this, and I'm so glad we do it. So it's good to be here in this room. Thanks.
Thank you.
Very much.
Yeah, thanks.
Yes.
Bonnie, 11 months ago is when I came in and said, does anybody like Carly Simon's song, Are You
Yes, you
So
did.
Vain? And trying to
We
make
all-
everybody aware of the eclipse coming. And people along the line of totality, some places are actually panicking. And I came tonight to find out what your plans were. You have good plans in place. You'll have a lot of people. It might be a mess, or they might know that we have clouds and rain that day and go to Syracuse instead. So good luck. Thanks for all
Thank
your
you,
work
because
in
I
getting
gotta
this
tell you, I
ready.
panic on certain days thinking about it too.
There are towns that are
I downplay it and then I hear,
Watertown was told by Homeland Security to prepare from 40,000 to 107,000 people coming. And we're more in the totality than they are. So
I was told 100 to 800,000.
To what?
Coming up this
Do they have
year.
any idea where these people are coming from?
Yeah, where are they coming from?
This market research has to have like a funnel tap
so
somewhere.
the path of totality is
I
narrow.
don't know.
Right.
Downplay
So
it
the
and then I hear
people
all
who
the
live
other music.
outside will be squeezing into it. And that's where they're coming from.
Understood.
As well as Europe,
But
Asia.
our boundaries are pretty low population areas where
Right.
we are up here.
And aren't they gonna be surprised?
Thank you very much. Yes.
I just want to follow up on what Pat said. Kind of, there's a contract with Inlet that got terminated, or is that going to be made public information?
Yes, it will after our attorneys decide what's gonna happen here.
Got it.
You'll be the first to know. I promise. For the second. I gotta let them know first. Anybody else? Yes.
Steve Hoffel. Want to answer the question of how far people are coming from. I have some reservations for people coming from West Virginia for the eclipse. Crap. On the snowmobile stuff, as a business owner, if it goes back to the old days, I think it would be very detrimental to the whole snowmobile industry in the area, because Mike remembers at one time there was 2 permits. There was Inlet had a permit system and Old Forge had a system, and that's when it got brought together, and it made our area more attractive. If we go back to separate systems, it's going to make us look like
Yep. Thank you.
Is that what happened? Did we cut them off?
Inlet told us we couldn't sell permits for the 24-25 season until we get it straight.
Until they get the debt that's due to
Until we
Inlet
get it
straight? Is that's
until we get the contract straightened with the lawyers? I'm not going to say any more about it. I'm done talking about that agreement. Thank you.
Okay.
Anyone else?
I just wanted to think too. On the thing you were saying for the sewer district, is that going to be going to residents or property owners?
It's going to go to everybody in the sewer users. Whoever pays a sewer district tax.
And water, I think.
Sewer and water, yes. The sewer and water district tax.
Okay. Because that could be good or it could be bad with as many properties that aren't owned by residents that are investment properties that make a hell of a lot more money than the rest of us do up here.
I know, we're aware. We've been told that it can hurt us and it can help us, so we're just
Right
trying
now,
to get more
we
money.
use the whole town, and our medium income is way too much to get any grant, so.
93,000.
Hang on, I got somebody else. Go ahead.
Do you have
Can you state your name, please?
Oh, Bob
Thank you.
Iorio, sorry.
Thank you.
Do you have a percentage of the sewer district or sewer water district that are businesses versus residents? Because, I mean, that obviously,
that'll be in the-
that obviously plays a part
Yeah,
in the
that'll be-
income. How's that,
In their
like,
income
how does
survey,
that
it'll
work?
It'll be a different thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think
That's
we're gonna
what
go
I-
by, yeah. I don't know
They're
how
not
they.
gonna go by
that-
businesses. That's what
That's my-
in New York
yeah.
they talked about that.
It's a household.
It's a
household income.
Household income. So businesses are out of it.
But, and there again.
So then you could
How many
see if
businesses are on that?
80% of our businesses in Old Forge are probably on the sewer district, correct? Or,
Yeah,
I don't
you
know.
want your incomes in there.
You don't want business income.
A huge percentage, right?
They won't be involved.
They're not gonna be included.
Okay.
You pay for sewer by units, or, right?
Right, unit.
So.
The sewer tax and
So
sewer.
businesses still get the water and sewer tax. I'm just trying to understand.
Basically, the state looks at our median income and is like, you guys don't need money. So now our sewer and water district should take that 93,000 median income and lower it, and the state will say, you guys can have money now. This will be great.
Okay.
We're hoping. If it doesn't work,
That's the theory.
That's the theory. But that's a good point about the short-term rentals, though. Like,
Yeah.
that is a good point.
More on the income study, right?
Like
It's
their
something that we've been advocating for a long time. And it is to demonstrate, so our census data is how they've determined our economic household income. And it skyrocketed to 93,000 because of what Steve mentioned, because so many of the regular incomes of residents were pulled out when those homes were no longer residences that had regular residential incomes and became properties. Without those numbers holding the weight down, it skyrocketed. Now, by looking at simply the sewer district and not the whole property of everything, it should bring it back down. And the figures that we generate are going to be really important to Living 80K in their efforts to find grants to things like 80K Action as they look for grants for our community, to the library as we look for grants, to the school. This is really intended, and it is not to look at a business's income. It is really intended to look at what people who live here really make instead of, it's gonna bring our number down, and it's gonna help us.
That's what we're hoping.
Yeah, it will.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, James. I'd like a motion to pay the audited claims.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I'd like to have a motion to go into executive session tonight to discuss personnel issues and contracts.
I think it can only be personnel issues though. I don't think we can discuss contracts in executive session.
That's the only place you discuss contracts. But thanks.
I'm really.
No, I'm not. I'm doing both of them. It's not illegal. Personnel issues and contracts. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion.
Second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Nay.
Aye.
Alright.
What is that there? What happens then? How's that work?
What do you
We
mean?
had this before. What did the town attorney? How do you?
You go and discuss contracts.
Contracts on personnel and employees.
Personnel issues.
And CS.
And contracts.
But I guess, you know, the personnel issues can be discussed in the executive session, but a contract between two towns.
You have to go in executive
not-
session to
Thank
discuss
you.
the contract.
Thank you.
Exactly.
I did it for 30 years, yes. You cannot discuss that in open session before you determine what you're gonna.
Just like CSAA stuff, we can't. It's got to be.
So you gotta go talk about it in private.
Yes.
Diane is correct. Did you hear Diane?
I have open meeting law in front of me. And it's not for municipal contracts. It is for CSEA. Collective negotiations, union negotiations, litigation, proposed, pending or current litigation, medical, financial, credit, or employment history of a particular person or corporation, or matters leading to the appointment, employment, promotion, demotion, discipline, suspension, dismissal, the preparation, grading, or administration of exams, matters which imperil the public safety if disclosed, matters which disclose the identity of a law enforcement agent or informer, information relating to current or future investigation or prosecution of a criminal offense which would imperil effective law enforcement.
And this is only stems because of the contract. I just called the Association of Towns because I wanted to be on record to say that I didn't support the termination of the contract. I'm not trying to start a big fuss. I just want to be somewhere in public to say I did not support the termination of that contract because I wasn't aware of it. And that's when the executive session thing came up, and you know Lori Nithin Damasi is the one who told me that contracts couldn't be discussed in executive session. So that's all. I mean, if we're talking about personnel, which we do have a personnel thing to
It
talk
is
about.
personnel, but your contract also could lead to litigation. So I don't understand why you can't go into executive session to talk about a contract, any contract. I'm not talking inlet, I'm not talking inlet, I'm talking
any
contract in
contract.
general.
We have 2 contracts to discuss tonight,
Any contract you go in.
and every one of them's on that list she just hit, so I don't know where we're at here.
When you get lawyers involved, the town board has every right to an executive session to discuss it. Personal opinion from what I've learned over my 24 years, yes. You guys decide.
I'd like to add something on the trail thing issue, which you don't want to discuss, but it is in the lawyer's hands, and we all know how lawyers can drag things out. This needs to be addressed ASAP because our
Thank you,
Sogo
Steve, we're
community.
aware, thank you. So we are going into executive session, thank you all for coming this evening.
And we're back.
We're back from executive session. We made one decision, and that was a memorandum of agreement by and between the town of Webb and CSEA Local 1000, AFSCME, AFL-CIO, Town of Webb, number 7101-00, Herkimer County Local 822. The memorandum of agreement, MOA, is made by and between the town of Webb, the town, and the CSEA, Local 1000, AFSCME, AFL-CIO, Town of Webb, unit number 7101-00, Herkimer County Local 822, CSEA, hereinafter collectively referred to as the parties. Whereas the town and the CSEA entered into a collective bargaining agreement dated January 1, 2020 through December 31st, 2024, collectively hereinafter referred to the CBA, and whereas the parties agree that the mistake has been made in the deduction of medical insurance premiums for certain employees hired after December 31st, 2021, and whereas the parties agree to modify provisions of Article 10, specifically Selection 1-1-4, medical insurance premiums in the CBA, and now therefore, in consideration of the mutual covenants and agreements hereinafter set forth, the parties agree as follows. Current employees hired into full-time positions on or after December 31st, 2021 and before March 7th, 2024 shall contribute to the health insurance premiums at the rates set forth in the CBA for employees hired prior to December 31st, 2021, currently set at the town paying 90% of the set that the town paying 90% and the employee paying 10%. These rates shall continue for such employees until the open enrollment period of January 1, 2025. After January 1, 2025, the employees hired between December 31st, 2021 and March 7th, 2024 will move to the health insurance rates set forth in the CBA for the employee hired after December 31st, 2021. This memorandum of agreement constitutes the entire agreement and understanding between the parties on the issue addressed herein and supersedes all prior agreements or understandings, whether written or oral. The parties acknowledge that no representation, promise, inducement, or statement of intention has been made by any party to this memorandum of agreement that is not embodied in this memorandum of agreement. This agreement does not set precedent for any future agreements. The parties herein acknowledge that during the course of resolving this matter, they were fully and fairly represented, that they had the unlimited right and opportunity to propose terms of this memorandum of the agreement, and that they knowingly and voluntarily entered into this memorandum of agreement. The memorandum of agreement shall not be modified except by a written agreement signed by both parties. If any dispute arises with regards to this memorandum of agreement, the matter shall be handled as a grievance pursuant to Article 4 of the CBA. This agreement is subject to town board approval.
Motion?
Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
A second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, sorry, roll call
Roll
vote.
call for this.
Roll call vote.
Councilman Hannah.
Aye.
Councilman Greco.
Aye.
Councilman Ross.
Aye.
Supervisor Baker.
Aye.
4 ayes. And that was Mike and Ben.
Correct.
You signed that?
Mm-hmm. And do I have a motion to adjourn?
I just wanted to say something real quick with that executive session thing. When just how it was said was written as contracts being discussed, and I it made it seem like it wasn't dealing with personnel. That's where the confusion lies going in executive session. That's all. Just for the record.
Thank you. Do you have a motion to close or to adjourn the meeting?
I'll make a motion to
Second.
adjourn the meeting.
Second it. I'll second
Is it
Tom.
Mm-hmm.
What time is it?
Can I do it?
5 o'clock?
All in